Happy day, Hotman and Air Acolytes, and a momentous occasion here on Breaking Wind, a Last Airbender podcast, because a little over a year and a half ago, I approached my friend and confidant, VHS Jace, who's here with me right now, and I said, hey, there's a live action Avatar series coming out. You know, it would be awesome. Let's capitalize on that for some views and do an Avatar rewatch in a show called Breaking Wind. And here we are a year and a half later.
Yeah,
and
firstly I said, I hate those blue people. And then you went, what? And then you made me realize that I had really been missing out on one of the greatest animated series of all time. So
yes, and we've now seen every single episode, and we're going to talk about the final three. Is it 3 or 4? I don't even remember. The final four. Sozin's Comet. And we're going to kick things off right now with Sozin's Comet Part 1, The Phoenix King, right next door to the Tucson Queen, I believe. So, getting things started, as usual, on Avatar, The Last Airbender, as they would on the eve of a monumentous finale. The gang are screwing around on the beach, because of course they are. That is Sokka with his sand Suki.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
I just think he's better off being a strategist.
Yeah, you know what? Just be happy that she's giving you some, man. Because as we established earlier, Sokka and Suki are getting it on. They have to be. However, this day at the beach is interrupted because Zuko is a jackass and he starts attacking Aang. Of course, everybody's expecting this kind of thing because, of course, you know, that's just Zuko. He wants to train Aang, and of course, Aang, you know, evades and everything. And Zuko's just like, you're never going to be ready to take on the Fire Lord if you don't train. You got to take him on in 3 days. And Aang says, oh, we're not going to fight the Fire Lord. Why would we? Why would we fight the Fire Lord on Sozin's Comet whenever he's going to be at his most powerful? That's the dumbest thing ever. We're just going to let the comet pass, and then we're going to fight him afterward, which, hey, points to Aang and the gang. It's not a bad idea. Why do they have to follow this schedule? However, they didn't share this information with Zuko, so Zuko didn't share information with them. And it turns out that his dad told him a plan that he's basically going to genocide the entire Earth Kingdom by literally flamethrowing every square inch of it. And of course, they're like, well, why didn't you tell us that? Why the heck didn't you tell me anything? Which, again, fair. So the schedule's back on. They have to defeat Fire Lord Ozai before the day of Sozin's Comet, or on the days of Sozin Comet, because Sozin Comet is ethnic cleansing day, basically. And so the training continues, and Aang must fight the Melon Lord. But at the last minute, Aang cannot even bring himself to smash the head of fake Fire Lord Ozai. It's just not in his nature. He is a non-violent human being, and he does not want to take the life of anyone else, which has been his stance since the very beginning. So I really like that this question of how are you going to defeat Ozai if you're not going to be willing to take his life, because you're going to have to take his life. And the fact that Aang keeps saying, no, I don't, is such a great way for our main character to stick to his guns and stick by his values. And it doesn't feel fake.
No. And he feels the pressure, doesn't he? That is the assumption that that's what's going to happen. And it's every instinct of him. He knows that's not what he wants to do. But it's a great question it poses. How, if you're not going to kill him, how are you going to stop this dude?
Yes. And it is a question that weighs heavily on Aang quite a bit, to the point that he actually sleepwalks and sleep swims to this mysterious island that has appeared out in the ocean. And Momo dopefully follows him, because that's Momo's place. It is at this point that I have to bring up the cursed screenshot of the episode so far.
Amazing. And it's only ever on screen for about 16 frames or something. They just throw it up, but it makes such an impact. It's awesome.
Of course, it gave them a chance to bring back the Ember Island players for a short cameo. You know, Avatar Day. Yeah, I love gender swapped Aang. I think it's great. So while all this is going on, while Aang is missing and the gang is looking for him and they have no idea what's going on, there are some rumblings in the Fire Nation because Ozai has suddenly told Azula, "You're not coming with me to the invasion. As a matter of fact, you're staying here." And Azula's just like, "What? I'm not good enough to come with you? I should go with you." And he goes, "No, no, 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 no. You don't understand. I'm making you the Fire Lord. You're going to be in charge of the entire Fire Nation." "Well, Daddy, what are you going to do?" "I'm gonna be the Phoenix King."
Yeah, Supreme Emperor, top dog, numero uno.
Rama, look at me! Don't I just look wonderful? Okay,
The ears on my helmet.
Yes. I'm sorry, but it's just like Fire King. I just want to see, like, because they cut it off right there with the bombastic music. How long does he stand like this? Eventually, like a soldier somewhere coughs and he has to. Well, anyway, I'm going to be going. Phoenix King.
It becomes awkward, doesn't it?
just a
tad.
Yes. Excuse me, I've got the coughs and I keep muting my mic because I know you don't want to hear that garbage. But you do know what kind of garbage you do want to hear. Zuko has got to get to work hunting down Aang again. Because that is what Zuko do. But he's Zuko don't do that no more. He has got to have help. And so he revisits an old favorite. Goes and visits June. "Hey, June, we need you to go find the Avatar for us." June is a bit player, but you know what? I like June.
Yeah, I like her.
She was happy to see her back. The episode could have gone on completely without her, but you know what? Don't care. It's June. And June
it could have gone on with her for a couple of episodes.
Absolutely.
If they had chosen to go that way.
Forget Aang. Let's just have June defeat Ozai. She could have, like, had her weird hedgehog thing lick him and have him fall to his death and be like, "I'm the new Fire King." have Zuko standing to the side going, "I wanted to be the Fire King." But that does bring us into the second episode we're going to talk about today, and that is Sozin's Comet, Parte Dos, the Old Masters.
Did not see this coming, but loved every
moment. So anyway, June says, "Hey, sorry, this was a cameo. I can't do anything. Bye." Okay, great. Thanks, June. Appreciate it.
She's not exactly clear though, because she goes, "He's gone. He's gone. He is.
Yeah, Aang's gone. You mean he's dead? No, he's just gone, dude.
He's just gone. Yeah, you may want to clarify there."
Yeah. So, Aang, however, has woken up on this mysterious island with no memory of how he got there and no knowledge of where he is. All he knows is the island is made of this strange rock that he cannot bend. And so Aang needs advice. He calls on the old avatars. He calls on Avatar Roku, making his final appearance on Avatar: The Last Airbender. And he says, "Avatar Roku, I need some advice. What do I do when I meet the Fire King?" And Roku basically says, "Kill him. That's kill him dead." That's what he says. Yeah. Be decisive. He doesn't say actually just kill him, but it's be decisive. Kill him. Well, how do I stick to my morals? Aang, kill him. Just kill the hell out of him. Kill him till he's dead.
Yes.
And then
it'll be done.
And then he has to call on Avatar Kyoshi. And of course, we all know Kyoshi is going to be level-headed and pacifistic. And she says, "Kill the hell out of him." She says, "Kill him. You know what? Let me possess you. I'll kill him. You want me to kill him? I'll kill him for you."
Yeah, they all turned into Emperor Palpatine in this moment. Wipe them out. All of them.
Yeah. Go on, Aang. Kill him. Kill him, Aang. You want to, don't you? I think deep down Aang kind of does, but he doesn't want to betray his values. The thumbnail did not show up, but the previous Airbender who was a Water Tribe member I'm not Airbender, the previous Avatar, who was a Water Tribe member, also says, hey, you know what? I was the Avatar that kind of went with the flow and just had a carefree life. And then my wife died. So kill him, Aang. Kill him. Yeah. And a cameo from Ko the Face Stealer, which was super creepy.
Yes. Nice little bit of backstory there about that.
Yeah, I'm kind of rearranging elements a little bit here. I know people who have watched this episode over and over again are just like, but that's not what happened. Yeah, this is what's happened as far as we're concerned. All right.
Yeah.
And then Aang says, you know what? I'm going to go back to the next Avatar, the previous Avatar, who was an airbender. And surely she will tell me to show mercy. Kill him, Aang! Kill him dead!
Yeah. And it's almost got it's done singularly, but it also reminded me of Superman. Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
There's this real ominous thing.
Guilty. You will pay, Jor-El. You and your children will pay. You will kneel before me, Jor-El.
Well done.
Yes, I'm very impressed with myself. Thank you. Thank you for letting me do that. That wasn't embarrassing at all.
Look.
Okay, so I can't
a
see
great
what this
idea.
thumbnail is.
But it's a test, right? That whole thing is a test.
Is it, though? Or is it that Aang is trailblazing in a new way? In a way that even the previous avatars didn't predict?
I don't know. I'm getting my gut says it was them giving him one final test.
It could be.
Who he is as a person.
It could be, but I think they honestly wanted him to kill the hell out of him, personally.
Maybe. Yeah. Because has it really worked out well for any of them previously? I mean, they all had kind of tragedy.
Worked out well for me. I lived to be 200 years old and killed the hell out of a lot of people.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But was she happy?
If I hadn't killed the hell out of my enemy, I'd still be alive right now, and you wouldn't be dealing with this crap.
There you go.
This is my only line. All right.
All right.
In the meanwhile, the gang minus Aang they come across some old friends. They come across Boomy and the old, basically the old masters. Yeah, basically the Illuminati, the Order of the White Lotus, which has been hinted at since that one episode where Iroh loses his Pai Sho tile. And he has to go find it. I said, remember this episode. It's important. Yeah. And that's what it was. He was doing White Lotus business right underneath our noses.
Yeah. That was so cool. That was definitely a cool moment when I realized, they got a secret society. This is great.
Yeah, secret society. We're old. We know everyone, Aang. Wait, where's Momo? Boomy's great. I love Boomy. And then we have the long-awaited reunion between Zuko and Iroh. And to me, it's one of the greatest scenes in Avatar history.
It's definitely a moment, you know what I mean? Like you see it and you're like, oh no, I'm gonna cry. Because it was done so well.
It was just Iroh not even looking at him, not saying anything, as Zuko pours out his heart, saying, I know you hate me, yell at me, do something. Yes. And what does Iroh do? The first thing he does is he grabs him and he hugs him.
Yep.
And he said, I wasn't angry at you. I was afraid that you had lost your way.
But you're back. But now you're back.
I'm even talking about it like my eyes are tearing up right now.
It is.
It is such a powerful scene. And
a well-earned moment.
And again, Mako, legendary voice actor, missed every single day. But my goodness, the actor who, I don't even want to say replaced him, but the actor who took over for him when Mako left us did such a fine job in this episode. I understand why this season was Iroh light. I do. Yeah. But man, the actor nailed it after this. And you will be happy to know.
Yeah.
You will be happy to know. Not the last we've seen of Iroh.
Ooh.
So that's all I'm gonna leave it at that. Not the last we've seen of him after this show is over with. Aang, in the meantime, has realized that the island he's standing on is moving, which is something that islands don't normally do. So something strange is afoot. There's something strange in the neighborhood, but we don't have time to call anybody.
The entire neighborhood.
There goes the neighborhood. It's moving across the ocean. But we don't have time to call nobody because right now there's some strategizing to do, and Iroh has a plan. The plan is for Zuko and Katara to go to the Fire Nation and prepare to supplant Azula with Zuko as the Fire Lord, and for Suki, Toph, and Sokka to go and try to disable the blimps, the war balloons that Ozai is using to basically raise the entire Earth Kingdom. And Iroh is going to basically fulfill a destiny he's had his entire life, a vision that he had that he would one day storm the gates of Ba Sing Se, but not as a conqueror. He's going to storm the gates as a liberator.
Yeah, wow.
Love it. And then they all take off, going on their respective ways. Aang, in the meantime, the island is a freaking lion turtle.
Yeah,
which
pretty amazing.
Number one, that is a heck of a background painting right there. It is beautiful.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
But Aang, after exhausting the advice of the previous avatars, asked the lion turtle, "What do I do? You're old. You've been around forever." We learn more about the lion turtles in the next spinoff, by the way. So we learn a little bit more about them.
And certainly got power, that's for sure.
And he gifts Aang with advice. Your spirit must be flexible. And we'll come to that again later. But in the meantime, the Fire Nation is advancing on the Earth Kingdom, and Ozai is getting ready to basically roast everything, but Aang is standing in his way, ready to stop him just as Sozin's comet appears over the horizon.
Well, there ain't no turning back now, Jace.
No turning back, and no turning back away from episode 3. Into the Inferno. Okay, I love Avatar: The Last Airbender, but as a science geek, this is not how comets work.
No, I know.
That's not how they work. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure we don't have lion turtles either. So
I gotta channel Neil deGrasse Tyson right now. Okay, lion turtles are one thing; they're fantastical. Comets are real. They don't do this. If they do this, if they streak through the atmosphere like this, everyone on the planet's gonna die. Okay, let's be realistic. Or at least everyone's eardrums would shatter from the sonic boom, and everybody's skin would burn from the heat blast.
That doesn't make for an exciting finale, though.
But it would be an unexpected one. So we go to the palace where Azula is being pampered right now, and then she finds a cherry pit in her cherries.
And loses it.
She absolutely loses it. But at least she just banishes the poor servant. She doesn't kill her or anything. But she is her mental health is not great at the moment.
No,
and we have been seeing it slowly slide ever since Ty Lee and May betrayed her, and she's been left alone. And I think she's going to be okay, though. We'll see. Sokka, Suki, and Toph make it to the base where the war balloons are about to take off, but it's too late. They've already taken off. So, of course, Toph, without any thought whatsoever, launches them into the freaking sky. Again, the cursed screenshot of the episode right there. Love it.
Amazing.
I just love that Toph is the only one whose face is not distorting right now, because she was the only one who was prepared for the jump. Toph launches them onto the balloon just as Azula banishes the Dai Li because she doesn't trust them anymore.
Yeah, she's lost trust in everything. And
she has no trust in anyone. But that's okay, because you know who you can trust? Iron Suit Toph.
Ah, yeah.
Toph, at her most psychotic badassery, wraps herself in freaking metal and basically becomes Iron Man and just waylays everyone on the bridge of this ship.
It's a great moment.
Allowing Sokka and Suki to take over the war balloon. Ozai, we're coming to get you. To which Ozai from the other balloon goes, "What? I said we're coming to get you. I can't hear you." We're coming to. Never mind. We're coming to you. I can't hear you. Just come to me. Oh, the old days. I don't know who these old women are, but the elderly crones who are always assisting the Fire Lord and everybody. Azula banishes one, but decides to keep the other one. And
great little gag at the end of that.
Yeah, you know, Pip, you stay. Pop, you're banished. But I'm Pop and I'm Pip, so who's banished? I also like this little touch that the fires in the throne room are now blue.
Yeah,
because that's the signature color of Azula's flames, and so she has completely taken over the throne room, and I think it's great. And oh my gosh, Iroh, feeling the power of Sozin's comet, basically becomes a one-man army as he and the Order of the White Lotus begin taking back Ba Sing Se. There were 25 great screenshots I took from that entire battle. And I ended up deleting every single one because I'm just like, you know what? It is an amazingly animated battle, but it is just a sliver of this entire story, and it kind of derails us. So let me just say, the liberation of Ba Sing Se is amazing, and it shows all of these old masters at their peak, and of course, Boomy being amazing.
You got to watch it a couple of times too, because there's so much packed in there.
Yes. And then Azula, losing it completely, attacks her hair. She banishes her hairdo, and then sees her mother in the mirror. This is her. Like, at this point, you know there's no hope for her. She has completely lost it. It was good to see Azula and Zuko's mom, though, even if it was a hallucination.
Can I just say, out of all heartfelt, I can't be any more heartfelt when I say this. Ha ha, Azula, you deserved it.
I'll get into that some more. I will get into that some more. But absolutely fantastic animation in this next part, because Fire Lord Ozai unleashes the power of the Fire Nation on the Earth Kingdom. He is baking every corner, but Aang stands in his way and fires back, because you know what? Aang is also bending fire, and he's also gotten a temporary upgrade. And so it is on like Donkey Kong. Sozin comes down from the heavens to battle his nemesis, the Avatar. It's a brutal fight, and it's a fight that Aang does not really do that well in, because he's unwilling to be as brutal as the Fire Lord is.
He's holding back, and I think he's still.
Meanwhile, he is definitely holding back, because you'll see here in just a minute, there's several parts where Aang could have easily won, but he doesn't, because he does not want to take a life. Sokka, Suki, and Toph have no problem with that, though, because they're just running blimps into each other like a demented game of bumper cars up there. Dozens of people dying, but that's okay, because they're having a great time. Azula is getting ready to be crowned Fire Lord, but surprise! Zuko and Katara interrupt the festivities because Zuko wants that crown. And so an Agni Kai is declared between him and Azula, and Zuko is actually holding his own and getting the upper hand, because he knows that he can redirect Azula's lightning. And so Azula plays dirty and breaks the rules of the Agni Kai and fires a bolt at Katara, and Zuko, self-sacrificing himself, jumps in front of the bolt and takes it right in the chest. And
wow.
Dramatic. And then Azula comes after Katara, because fire and water are just they go well together. Yeah. But Zuko is not the only one who can redirect lightning, you see. So can Aang. And Aang absorbs Ozai's lightning and is ready to shoot it back to him, but at the last minute he hesitates, because he does not want to take that life. And you even see it in Ozai's eyes. Ozai knows, if he fires that, I'm dead.
Yeah.
But Aang fires it away, shows mercy, and of course Ozai's like, oh wow, I was shown mercy. Maybe I should think about being a better person. Psych, I'm gonna burn this chump. And so Aang does the only thing he can do. He rolls himself into a rock ball and hides. And basically, Ozai's out there just roasting the ball, waiting to break it open and fry the scared little child on the inside.
It'd be pretty warm inside that rock, I would suggest.
Oh, I'm sure it'd be pretty rank by this point, too. I bet it smells like, BO and feet.
Yeah.
But that does take us to the very final episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Chapter 21, Sozin's Comet, Part 4, Avatar Aang. Oh my God. I was Shyamalan. I did that on purpose. Avatar Aang. So great scene here where Toph, basically, you're putting Sokka in the worst position ever. He's holding on to Toph, who is dangling off this balloon. He's on a platform. There is a firebender on one side and a firebender on the other side, and he's got his sword and a boomerang. So he throws his boomerang, he throws his sword, and somehow or another does not die. He does lose his space sword, which is really sad because the space sword was awesome. The boomerang comes back, though, because all good things do come back, and that includes girlfriends, because Suki shows up looking way too happy to have just murdered dozens of firebenders.
I think she's
and comes in and basically just like saves the day, saves Toph, saves Sokka. Oh my gosh, my brain farted there for a minute. And that picture, of course, did not upload, but it's one of the few times we ever see Toph scared. And I really never thought too much of this scene, but whenever Sokka is holding Toph and she's dangling in the air, you see in her eyes are wide open, and although she never sounds scared, she's terrified because she literally cannot see anything. She is completely blind for one of the first times in her life, and she's terrified. And I wish that picture had uploaded, because whenever they animated that scene, it's a perfectly animated scene.
Yeah.
Her voice doesn't waver, but her face says it all. She's an incredibly brave person, because I've always said bravery is not doing something because you're not scared. It's doing something even though you're scared.
Exactly.
And she is brave there.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's this? Okay, so Aang's rock egg is broken by Ozai, and Aang falls backwards and hits a rock right on the place where his chi had been blocked. And I'm not gonna lie, part of me wishes this would happen to me, because I think it would fix me.
Yeah. Someone's got back problems.
Yeah, I honestly think it would fix me. I go to my chiropractor and I just tell them, hey, you know that scene in the last episode of Airbender whenever Aang is thrown into that rock and it unblocks his chi? Can you do that to me? And the guy's just like, get out of my office. I'm a podiatrist. Get out of here.
I was hoping he'd turn around and go, yeah, actually opens the door and just shoves you into the rock.
First thing I need to do is First thing I need to do is block your chi with my lightning bending taser. All right. But BA scene right here, because Aang comes out of the rock pile and grabs Sozin by his stupid goatee and is like, why? And he basically goes God mode right here.
Yeah, God mode.
You have made me angry.
Like
Avatar Aang is now Deathbender Aang.
Just maybe want to get out of his way, I would say.
Yes, absolutely. You gonna die. Sorry. Meanwhile, Katara barely staying one step ahead of Murder Azula, who has gone full crazy, who has probably maybe but not killed Zuko at this point, and wants to roast Katara just for the heck of it. But Katara is a strategist, just like her brother. Lures Azula to a sewer grate where there's water underneath it, and then explodes the water upward and freezes it, freezing them both in place.
awesome moment too, because it's
absolutely
they're both conscious. They know exactly where they are in those moments.
And Azula at that moment already knows she's lost because you just see her eyes moving and she's like, damn it. But Katara unfreezes the water around herself, allowing her to move, chains up Azula, and chains her to the grate. Azula has been beaten by a waterbender, and at that moment, Azula cracks. She loses her mind completely. And earlier you said, earlier you said, ha. I don't know, maybe I'm weird. I felt pity for her at this point. Because
maybe a little bit of pity, but the pain she caused.
I feel pity for her. And I agree. She caused pain.
A lot of pain.
But I also saw her just as Zuko, she was the child of trauma. Because she underwent almost not nearly as much, but she underwent a lot of the abuse that Zuko underwent. And she was always pressured to be perfect. She was always pressured to be ruthless. She was always pressured. And if you are not perfect at everything, you are not going to be worthy. You're going to be just like your brother, thrown out without honor. And at the moment she failed, that's when she loses it. When she has failed, her mind breaks. And I'm sorry. I may be alone in this world, but I felt a great swell of pity for that poor girl. Because she's just a girl. She's just a child.
And I didn't care.
I know you ruthless crap. I know. And you know what? The other part of me is like, ha. But, it's a sad ha. It's like, ha.
I am sure that it all works out for her. I bet she gets the help that she needed. I'm sure.
Yeah, we never see her again. We never see her again. She doesn't show up anymore.
So we don't know. She may have redeemed herself.
I know that there's a comic book story where they basically like take her out of prison so that she can help do something. But she's not redeemed.
The only one who's going to help us.
The only one who can help us is Azula. Yeah, she's in this cage over here. Okay. Let's go see if Ozai wants to help. Speaking of Ozai, he's gonna die. Yeah, he's gonna die. Aang's gonna kill him. Of course, at the last minute, Aang's like, nah, I ain't no killer. I ain't gonna kill him. He looks like One Punch Man right here.
A little bit.
Yeah, which is appropriate because he could probably kill Ozai with one punch.
But in that moment, I know I'm thinking, well, what are you going to do then? You're just going to what? You can't. In his current state, he's too dangerous to imprison. He's got all those powers. What are you going to do?
Well, obviously, he's gonna use the new Deus Ex Machina powers that the Lion Turtle gave him, and he's gonna spirit bend. He's going to take Ozai's powers away from him. Yeah, so he's gonna de-firebend him.
I liked it a lot.
Oh, I did too.
I thought it was a great way to resolve that conflict.
You know that Kyoshi's up in heaven, like eating popcorn, going, "You pansy, kill him!" But yeah, great. I love it. I'm taking your bending away. It was just like my 40th birthday to my knees. Taking your bending away. You will never be able to bend again.
And that's only the beginning of that moment that you showed. It's great. It looks amazing when they do the animation for it. But like he glows red and he glows completely blue. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, and I have to say, I'm not giving away too much, but they explore this more in the future in the spinoffs. Wow. Like, what does this power mean? It's really good.
I will say this though, Jace. Like I sent a message to you after I watched it, and I just said, "How are they going to do this live action? I don't think it's possible." And you
what did I say? What did I respond with?
Yeah,
I said they can't. They can't. They cannot do this justice. No. And I honestly think that live action Avatar kind of feels sorry for it because it has so much to live up to, and it has no chance of ever achieving it.
Well, the problem is if you don't live up to it in the beginning, how do you do it? Later on when it really, Anyway.
Well, maybe they'll prove us wrong. Maybe they will do something comparable. Maybe they've listened to the feedback and maybe they're going to fix things. We'll see. It
doesn't matter because we have this, honestly. And this is what I'll be going back and rewatching.
Absolutely. We do get this funny scene where basically it's like, oh, did you kill the Fire Lord? I still live, in the greatest Mark Hamill Joker voice. I still live, Batman.
Yeah. A little bit.
I just love that he's reduced to a drooling idiot.
Yeah.
And then we get basically some epilogue scenes. Zuko is reunited with May, who warns him, don't you ever break up with me again or I'm killing you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
wonderful moment.
Turn on.
Wonderful moment.
Ty Lee is she joins the Kyoshi Warriors because of course she does, because she would be an amazing Kyoshi warrior.
Yes, good fit.
Here
he is.
Zuko becomes Fire Lord of the Fire Nation with Aang by his side.
Really powerful. Love that.
Great. Very cool. I love the fact that bitter enemies become friends at the end. I've always loved stuff like that. And then Zuko visits his father, and he has one thing to demand. Where is my mother? And I'm sure that question will be answered one day.
We're just waiting for it. Could be the subject matter of the films that they're doing.
It could be. And you know what? They do a joke in one of the first episodes of Korra, and it made me laugh out loud because they trolled the fans so hard. And whenever it happens, you'll know it.
All right. Well, I look forward to that. And you've led into that. We're not over. It's not over yet. We're over for this amazing, incredible experience that I've been lucky enough to undertake with you in the last year and few months. It's been incredible.
Yes,
love it.
Lucky to be with me, and Avatar was just a bonus.
But
meanwhile,
you're not getting me off the
hook. Meanwhile, Iroh has his tea shop, and the gang have one more reunion. And of course, the next thumbnail is missing too. Thank you, StreamYard. But Aang and Katara share a kiss.
Yeah.
As the grand story comes to an end. And that is the end of Avatar, The Last Airbender.
One of the great TV animated shows of all time.
Yeah, it's not only a great animated series. I will go ahead and say it with you. It is one of the greatest it's one of the greatest series of all times. I think it's fantastic.
Well, there's a shelf of the best. Currently, Avatar sits up there with She-Ra, the Princess of Power. They both. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm not going to have, I can't choose between them. But wowee, those two there, and But Avatar, the world building's probably better than She-Ra, I think, just because so much they can do in Avatar. So I'm thrilled. I feel fortunate that I actually got into it late because Avatar's come back now. So I haven't had to wait a decade for new content. Like, I'm going to get it pretty well within the next year and that. So that's pretty rad. So I've loved it. This was incredible. It was great.
But the ride is not over because we have an entire dang series ahead of us. 4 seasons of the Legend of Korra, which is the Avatar spinoff. Now, I will say, from my own opinion, I think it has a very rocky start. I actually think it takes 2 seasons to find its feet. But I do think that Korra does tell more mature stories because Korra is older than Aang, and she goes through hell. She goes through hell. A lot like the Korra series has to live in the shadow of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Korra has to live in the shadow of Aang. And so every decision that she makes is picked apart. Everything she does is second guessed. And I honestly think that the series has gotten better with time because it was treated that way by the fans as well. And I think now that the
Okay.
newness is worn off, I think that we can look at it with fresh eyes and see it as the flawed but worthy follow-up that it is. So I'm just going to tell you, don't get your hopes up as much as it was with Avatar, but Korra is still a really good show, and it's got some fantastic characters in it.
Well, I look forward to it, dude. But the most important question, does this now become Breaking Wind Legend of Korra podcast? I think it does, doesn't it?
No, it's still a Last Airbender podcast, because
sounds good.
It will always be a big ball of breaking wind.
Sounds perfect.
Please, thank you for this amazing journey through the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and please stick with us as we leap 60 years into the future and join the next Avatar, Avatar Korra, the fully realized Avatar, by the way. That's another difference between Aang and Korra, is that Korra becomes a fully realized Avatar one quarter of the way through her show.
Oh, okay.
So you see her as a full Avatar by the end. So that's pretty neat.
That's interesting. A different way to go. Yeah.
Yep. So please join us for that and any other Last Airbender nonsense that happens to break. Because if it breaks, it will be here on Breaking Wind. Ladies and gentlemen, please visit the video description below and join us as a Patreon. You could be our very own Order of the White Lotus and come save us when we need to be saved by donating as little as $5 a month. Please do that wallet bending and give today. And I believe that is all she wrote. Hot men, hot women, air acolytes. See you in Republic City.